Hey, what's up guys? Transition Coach 50 here. Today we're here to continue talking about dating applications and sites. Specifically, we're here to talk about setting up, arranging for, and having that first in-person meeting. If this sounds interesting to you, stick around. We're about to get to it. Hey, what's up guys? Transition Coach 50 here. Today we're here to continue talking about dating applications. Specifically at this point we're here to talk about arranging for and having that first in-person meeting. So if you recall, we went through three specific phases of that initial interactions, right? We had the small talk phase, how was your weekend, that type of thing. Then we moved into more personal dialogue. What do you do for a living? What are you looking for on this site? How many kids do you have? And then we evolved into some of that playful dialogue and communication where we were ready to maybe have some Zoom or FaceTime calls. I don't know, maybe she is or isn't open to that. But at this point, we're ready to pull the trigger on setting up an in-person meeting. So let's talk about how that goes. And I will tell you, it's changed a little bit since COVID-19. So we'll be respectful of that and recognize those differences as we're giving advice in this new current age that we're living in. So really, I'd say a key thing for me always was dating apps and sites, for the most part, does become a numbers game. You're going to interact with a lot of folks, some more real than others. You don't know what their intentions are, and it's just something that can be time consuming, as I said in the introduction, if you allow it to be. But I think you really want to stick to, how can I meet and validate this person is who I think they are? Do I think I have a connection with them? Do we share some good common energy? Is it somebody I'd be interested in spending more time with? And do they feel the same way? And is it ready to move on to the next phase? So I'd say let's try to do that in a way where we manage a location that's safe for them, they feel comfortable in, but as quick an interaction and as inexpensive an interaction as possible. Let me be real clear. At first, when I first got single back 10 years ago, I would set up things where I was maybe buying dinner or buying drinks and that type of thing. And let me tell you, it got extremely time consuming and extremely expensive really quick. I learned really quickly that as quickly as I could set up that meeting and interaction just to get those initial validation points, the better. At the same time, you want to be respectful. So some ideas could include things like maybe going on a hike, meeting at a park over coffee, walking around a park. If you have dogs together and that's a common shared item, maybe you meet at a dog park or go on a hike with your dogs or something like that. Whatever may be some common themes to both of you, you can maybe explore doing some of those. I typically start with setting an expectation that, hey, I've got 20 minutes or a half hour before I've got to jump on this call or go run some type of an errand. They'll be happy to have that type of an out, and don't worry, if things go well, you won't have trouble setting up a future meeting or maybe even extending if they've got more time too. Okay, so now we've found our meeting place, we've agreed, we're meeting together. Let's talk about some basic do's and don'ts, right? Some real high level do's are try to make her smile, try to make her laugh. I'd say, as I've said before, you're way ahead of the game if you can do that. Let's really try to avoid controversial topics. I don't think this is a time to be talking about your political or religious beliefs, unless, again, that's a strong common bond for the two of you. I really would stay away from eliminating large groups of people by these specific opinions or views on things. Again, try to keep things very positive. People love to spend time with folks they think are positive and optimistic and have that positive, optimistic energy. Another don't, I'd say, is I wouldn't spend a lot of time talking about yourself or certainly anything that could be taken as bragging or arrogance, no matter how successful you are. That'll come through, don't worry about it. And for a variety of reasons, you found yourself here where you're able to meet with this person, so there's something that they're interested in, and I'd say you don't have to use this as a time to kind of treat it as a job interview or lay out all your qualifications here, right? I'd try to let things just naturally flow. Try to establish an energy connection and some way that you feel together that you'd be interested in spending more time in. Keep it as light as you can. Again, keeping that meeting fairly short. Don't get too deep in dialogue, but I also would suggest you don't be seen as somebody who's hiding something, right? So be fairly transparent in your answers. I try to be positive. I try to do as much as you can with a smile. If you can get them smiling or laughing, I guarantee you it's probably a good meeting. And a big suggestion would be try to get them talking about themselves. I'd say as you're going out on a first date, the more you can get somebody comfortable sharing what's important to them and what's important to their lives, and they're able to express that to you, the more you're going to build a tighter bond and trust, and I think the more successful probably that first date's been. I hope this content's been helpful for you. If it is, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and come back again soon for more meaningful content. Where have you taken some of your first in-person meetings from dating applications? We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Please share it with the community. I'm sure there's some great success and horror stories out there. Love to hear from you.